What are you talking about?
Shall we just have breakfast?
It was dreadful news about Mrs. Rogers. She was a wonderful cook. Such a shame. This egg is 4 minutes precisely, is it?
Yes, madam.
Rogers, did you take away 2 of these figures?
No, miss.
Condolences, Mr. Rogers. When are you expecting Narracott?
Mid to late morning, sir. His timekeeping is somewhat erratic. Will that be all?
Yes, thank you, Rogers. Thank you very much.
Tony Marsden was young and strong. He didn't die from some stimulant. Perhaps he was poisoned. And Mrs. Rogers, perhaps she was given too much. What drugs do you have in your medical bag, Doctor? Why did you even bring it? You are a guest. It's not work.
Actually, it is work. I was trying to maintain some sort of professional discretion. However, Mrs. Owen suffers from female neurosis. My speciality is women's disorders. Mr. Owen engaged me in a professional capacity to tend to his wife.
Gave up on the surgery then, Doctor?
People do not just die out of nowhere for no reason. They die because something was done to them by someone. I'm gonna check your bag.
Don't you dare!
What have you got to hide?
How about I do it? I'm not being searched like some grubby criminal.
Then what if the General goes with him? He's an honorable man.
Fine. But while you're at it, you might want to search Judge Wargrave's case as well. I know where I've seen you before.
Did you really kill all those men?
Yes, Miss Claythorne, I did kill all those men. And more.
Why?
It seemed like a good idea at the time. They had something I wanted. In this case, it was diamonds. Worth more than a few lives. What about you? What did you want?
I nearly drowned. I failed to save a little boy in my care, and there isn't 1 minute of every day that I am not sorry for that. Why aren't you?
I know what I am. I always knew it would catch up with me. And here it is. What's going on?
It's a bit early to be on the sauce.
It's been something of a morning.
Hey, hey.
Bastard's down there. I heard him. What bastard?
Owen.
I can hear him moving about. Marston's room. What are you doing?
Camp bed.
Oh, we had to find somewhere to store it, and young men don't look under beds.
What do you need a camp bed for? What were you planning?
Well, I can't sleep in my room, can I? My wife.
Yeah, obviously. Of course.
I've got to find somewhere else to set up.
What for? We're all leaving.
Well, you might be. This is my job. I can't go anywhere until my employer dismisses me.
Your employer? Your employer is insane.
Be that as it may, I've got nothing else to go to.
All right, then carry on, Rogers.
Grown man hiding and sneaking about is ridiculous.
Marston was given cyanide, though. Wasn't he, Tubbs?
Cyanide?
I'm pretty sure of it.
I don't know. You were convinced of it this morning.
Claythorne for the cyanide. I put money on it. She don't see the type. Oh, she's exactly the type.
What about the old boy? The general? Dangerous men come back, you know, from over there. The noggins all scrambled.
Oh, well, let's search everybody then. God bothering Miss Brent. Let's search Wargrave.
Well, the judge, well known as hanging judges, is infamous for the Black Square. The story goes that he'd watch every execution he'd ordered.
Tubbs, you've been looking sideways at Armstrong all morning, and now everyone's fair game.
You suggested the judge.
I was taking the piss. Mr. Owen is on the island, and I'm going to find him. I told you Owen was on the island.
What made you so sure?
Instinct.
We got to be rational. Stick with procedure. Now, who is this Owen?
And Mrs. Owen?
I don't think there even is a Mrs. Owen.
We must all have something in common. Someone who knows us all.
Well, how can that be possible? I can imagine crossing paths with a doctor, a judge, but someone like Mr. Lombard?
Well, we've crossed paths now, haven't we?
Mr. Lombard, law tells me that you have a revolver.
Oh, Tubbs.
Why have you got a gun?
He's got a gun?
I carry it everywhere. And it was implied that I might need it.
Implied? By whom?
My client needs a good man who can handle situations.
Who's your client?
Mr. Owen, Ulick Norman Owen.
Never heard of him.
But he has heard of you, Audrey, the box.
It's dangerous then.
My client believes that it could become volatile.
I see. And how would Mr. Owen wish me to proceed?
He leaves that to your discretion. But forewarned
He's
is...
forearmed. I understand.
That's who got in touch with me about the job with Mrs. Owen. Isaac Morris in Soho.
Soho. I was invited here by the Owens, whom I've never heard of, to join a mutual friend, Mrs. Culmington. Perfect place to recover, it said. The envelope was postmarked London, Soho.
A sink of depravity. A godless desert of vice.
What brings you here, Miss Brent?
Mrs. Owen wrote to me. She was interested in my work. The moral education of girls of the lower orders. They have to be taught modesty and decency, or society will be drowned in a rising tide of unwanted babies, all squalling to be fed. She wanted to contribute to my cause.
Law?
I got a letter from Ulick Norman Owen. He was impressed by my standing in the force. He said if I could see my way clear to spending some time keeping an eye out, that he would recompense me generously.
Keeping an eye out for what?
He said that someone was here under false pretenses. He also supplied a list of guests. All of you. Everyone here. And what he didn't say was that Lombard would have a gun.
Is it Mr. Owen's voice on the record? Does anybody recognize it?
Are we forgetting about the gun here? There's a Fenian sat over there with a bloody gun!
Don't blaspheme.
Hand it over. Come on, surrender your weapon, Mr. Lombard.
Not a chance.
I could make you.
You can try.
Wait, is Isaac Morris Mr. Owen?
No. I'd have found that sweaty bucket of lard by now.
Jews. Whenever there's a problem, there's Jews at the bottom of it.
Something struck me. I can't think why I didn't see it before. Ulick Norman Owen, Una Nancy Owen. Or UN Owen, is unknown. It's a riddle, perhaps.
What does it mean?
It means that Mr. Lombard is right to insist that the killer is on the island.
And he's getting very wet out there.
The killer's not out there. The killer is in here. It is one of us.
We've never met each other before now. Why?
How could I possibly be capable?
Oh, anyone is capable, Miss Brand. 40 years on the criminal bench has taught me that.
Rogers,
Here we go again, lining up the next suspect.
you mark my words, Rogers. He's an oily bugger, slinking around.
Going back and forth during dinner. He would have had time to put something in Mr. Marston's drink.
I heard him tell Mrs. Rogers to shut up. Well, she's shut up now, isn't she?
He's the one moving the figures.
But the general, the rest of us, that record, this house, why?
Rogers, he's got low cunning running through him like Brighton through a stick of rock. We need to watch him.
Any faith I ever had in the thin blue line evaporated the second I met you, Tubbs.
You call me that one more time, mate. One more time.
And you'll what? We are all being hunted. There's someone else on this island.
I've got nothing to do with any of it. Just because I said that I was hungry, I am hungry. It doesn't prove a single thing. I'm going to get dressed. The whole morning, dragging Rogers around, clearing up guts, without so much as a cup of tea to wet me whistle, and you look at me like a...
Down.
You got some front, love. You got some right brass neck.
Don't go downstairs on your own. Not with those two.
What, Walgrave and Armstrong?
You wait up here for me. It was locked, which means there must be a master key.
Rogers must have had a master key.
You two dealt with a body.
And you found it? Or did you? You shrieking like a woman. Was that a bit of amateur dramatics, was it?
I did nothing to Rogers. I didn't take any master key. We don't even know if there is a master key. And we only have your word that the gun was stolen. You could have taken it.
Why would I steal my own gun?
I don't know why you'd do anything, Lombard. I don't know why you killed Rogers or Miss Brent or MacArthur.
I didn't kill them.
Well, you would say that, wouldn't you? Just like you'd say that your gun was stolen.
You really are a first-class, 5-star, solid gold fucking moron.
Please, the lady,
Double bluff.
What, Tubbs?
Why you would steal your own gun? Armstrong's got a point. It's all riddles and games, smoke and mirrors. Double bluff.
You were the last one down. The last one. Ages behind everyone else. What took you so long?
I don't care to say.
You killed Rogers. You took the master key. You went to bed. You made sure all of us were downstairs, and then you got into my room and you took my gun. You have my gun, you little prick.
Lombard, for heaven's sake.
I never killed Rogers, and I ain't got your key or your sodding gun.
Then what took you so long? If you weren't in my room, stealing my gun, then why were you the last down?
No key, no gun.
Now you, Miss Claythorne.
Of course.
I'm just being thorough.
Well, Miss Claythorne.
Mr. Lombard.
Philip.
Vera.
Nothing.
We'll search the rest of the house. Every room.